myself and I can't focus. Yeah, I'm broken, the door is closing. Wanna be a part of something more than this. I've lost control of it. Oh, seeing the stars reminds me of you. Oh, oh, oh. You left me with scars, but I know that one day you'll see it through. You'll see it through. You'll see it through. Hey. You'll see it through. You'll see it through. We gonna live forever, forever. The afterlife. We gonna live forever, forever. The afterlife.
A pair of jeans, a shirt or two. We didn't pack as if we weren't going back. It doesn't matter if it's true. I've got a feeling love will give us what we lack. The world is waiting up. The world is waiting half a step beyond our door. Yeah. And if it's not enough, I wanna see the stuff the world has got in store. I wanna take it all in, I'm falling. The cityscape by night, wanna catch in my photos. Where you go, every corner twice as bright. They'll be my treasures forever. When I can't hold you tight, I'll see the Stockholm lights. The Stockholm lights, the Stockholm lights. Tomorrow feels a year away, like the seconds, the beginning and the end. But if in time it's yesterday, your picture's gonna bring it home to me again. The world is waiting up. The world is waiting half a step beyond our door. And if it's not enough, I wanna see the stuff the world has got in store. I wanna take it all in, I'm falling. The cityscape by night, wanna catch in my photos. Where you go, every corner twice as bright. They'll be my treasures forever. When I can't hold you tight, I'll see the Stockholm lights. The Stockholm lights, the Stockholm lights.
And we are live. Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to my live stream. My name is Tyler. Super excited to have you here. Do want to let you know that I'm live right now on 3 different platforms, so you can join on whatever platform works best for you. But I am live right now on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitch. Over on YouTube and LinkedIn, I just stream under my name, Tyler Ramsby. And over on Twitch, I stream under the name Hack_Smarter. So once again, LinkedIn and YouTube is Tyler Ramsby. Twitch is Hack Smarter. But super excited to have all of you here. This is the final stream for sure this time before Defcon. Wanted to jump on stream. Don't know how long I'll be on. It's actually super nice where I live for once, and as soon as it's nice here, and I'm going to a freaking desert in Las Vegas, but I want to go for a walk sometime before I go to bed, probably at like 11 o'clock at night. I want to go for a walk, and so I'll stream. We'll hang out for a little bit, and then I need to go for a walk and eventually pack stuff. But guys, I haven't packed anything yet for Defcon. I'll probably do all of that tomorrow night after my kids are in bed. So my normal streaming time tomorrow will just be me packing things for Defcon. But just getting on my backpack, 1 carry-on should be pretty chill, pretty easy to get everything packed. And also have some news hot off the press. For those of you part of the Hack Smarter community, if you're not part of the Hack Smarter community, I mean, you should be, but hacksmarter.org and get our Discord link, hacksmarter.org. But we were trying to organize like an informal meetup, just a spot for a few of us to hang out. And when I was first having the conversation on Discord, there was like maybe 8 to 10 of us who are maybe going to come. And I thought, hey, we'll just like hit up a random restaurant. Like that's not too many people. We'll grab a table. And then it's at like 30 confirmed people, but I know a lot of them are bringing friends, who are pushing at like 40 people from the Hack Smarter community who want to hang out. So then one of our members, I won't shout him out on here just because I don't know if he wants his name out on stream, but one of our members made a bunch of phone calls trying to find a spot we can meet close to the strip, made like over 20 calls, and like managed to actually find a spot successfully. So all the details are in Discord. You can check it out there, but we have a location for us to meet up Thursday night at 8 p.m. before all the craziness of Defcon kicks off. So if you are going to be at Defcon, yo, I would love to meet you. We are meeting at a brewery, and I personally don't drink alcohol, which you win if you come and you do, because I'll buy some people some drinks since I won't be buying drinks myself. But would love to meet you at the brewery place. It'll be fun. So all the details are in Discord. Would love to connect with you at Defcon. Let me scroll up in chat, say hello to everybody in chat. We got Ralph checking in. We got the one and only J Money. We got Nefos. What up, Nefos? We got Jerry. Jerry said, hey, Tyler, you gradually became one of my offsec streamers to watch. Kudos to you. What's the plan for today? Dude, well, thank you so much for hanging out and for the kind words. I'll show you the plan in just a second. J Money said, I need to start dressing up like Darth Vader because it's all about the dark side. We're actually going to do, not full hacking today. We're going to do some building. We're going to spin up a web server actually using Terraform, because I suck at Terraform and need to get better at it. So it should be fun. The Real Bilbo said, I'm going to try and make it, but have a job in Minna, Nevada at 3 p.m. and we'll do my best to meet up with everyone. If not, please join us Friday for the SC meetup. Absolutely, dude. I will be at the Simply Cyber meetup for that entire event as well. So I have only 2 events that I am doing. The Hack Smarter meetup, or not 2 events, 2 meetups that I'm doing officially. The Hack Smarter meetup on Thursday, which once again be very much informal compared to other meetups. And then the Simply Cyber meetup on Friday. I will definitely be at that. What up, Kelvin? Thank you for checking in. Default Sex, it'd be great to do a Defcon vlog of the meetup. Dude, that's a great idea, because like I will have some camera equipment. That would be fun just to, show everybody that shows up, hang out together. I will do that. I have to be careful at Defcon itself, because a lot of people are very much uncomfortable having cameras around, which I totally get. So I'm not going to break out cameras when I'm at the Defcon venue. But at little meetups like this, if people are comfortable, would love to take some video and throw it on YouTube afterwards. Oh, you're going to Vegas just for these 2 meetups. You don't have a Defcon ticket. That's amazing, dude. Well, that's a real Defcon, bro. What a Defcon ticket gets you is waiting in line for like 2 hours, only to be told once you get to the front of the line that they are at capacity for the talk you were trying to attend. So if you're going to the meetups, man, that's what matters. 10-hour drive. Crazy. All right, looking over at stream, looks like everything is working well. Looks like it's using the real microphone, not the webcam microphone, so that is a plus. Oh, we got Anik. First time catching the stream. Hey, thank you for jumping into the stream. It is an honor to have you hanging out with us. But guys, we're going to do something a little bit different today than our traditional hacking. I'm just going to start recording for YouTube, and I'll do the intro for you guys as well as for the people watching after the fact on YouTube. I think a lot of you have been on my stream before. You know the deal. This is the time we kind of hang out, but this is also the time when I make standalone videos for YouTube, which helps me have a big backlog of videos. So I think I have like 8 videos in my backlog right now, which allows me to release content consistently every single week. So if you have not subbed to me on YouTube, let me just one quick self-promotion before we dive into things. YouTube is my main platform. So if you go to YouTube and then just go to my name, wow, I cannot type today. This is my main platform. You see I have over 400 videos. This is where I release all my videos throughout the week. So detail walkthroughs, just fun little videos like this short one right here. But sub to me on YouTube. This is where it's at. I just use the other platforms like literally just for the live streaming stuff. But YouTube is my main platform. So if you like my content, sub to me on there. All right. Let me get a drink of water and we will start recording the intro for the YouTube people. All right, here we go. Hey, what is up everyone? Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're gonna do a little bit of building. So we're not really doing hacking. It's not necessarily blue team, but we're gonna build a web app together using Terraform in AWS. We're gonna try to spin it up in Terraform, spin up this web app. I think you might even be able to visit it. I'll have to check it out to see how the lab works, but I'm excited to do that. And the reason I wanna do this lab is, well, really for a few reasons. I'm gonna showcase the Cybr platform. I've done a few of their labs on stream and some standalone videos about them, but I love Cybr, and the reason I haven't showcased a lot of the hands-on labs is because I've been doing their courses. So I finished one course on AWS security. I'm going through a blue team course right now on incident response. A lot of fun, learning a lot in the process, but Christoph and his team over at Cybr have been killing it on the releases. So I wanted to just showcase some of these new labs that they have released, and also I suck at Terraform. Now Terraform is infrastructure as code. I have used it a little bit, so I created a CloudGoat scenario. You can actually see it over on CloudGoat if you look at the PRs that teaches AWS pen testing. It's not like officially released yet. Instead, we're kind of holding it back. When we do the official release, there'll be a blog post on the Rhino blog. I have a Try Hack Me room that goes with it, an official video walkthrough with it. But when I was making that, I have to use Terraform, and I realized how much I suck at Terraform. So then, when I saw that Christoph released a Terraform lab that allows us to spin up an S3, a web server from an S3 bucket, I thought, let's do it. Let's see if we can learn about this, and we will dive into it. Let me go ahead and introduce you guys to Cybr. If you've never heard of it before, here is Cybr. So it's CYBR. Once again, cybr.com. I'll just drop the link in chat. This should go to all of the platforms that are hanging out with us. But it's Cybr.com, and the lab that we are going to do today is completely free. So if you're watching this after the fact on YouTube, go ahead and make a free account on Cybr, and you can follow along. It's helpful to watch someone do a lab, but it's way more helpful if you do the lab alongside of them, and you learn more in the process by having your hands on the keyboard. So once again, this is a completely free lab. You don't need a sub. None of that is needed. But I will just say, if you do get a sub, it is well worth it. If we go over to pricing, you can see that right now, 129 years for the entire year, or just $10 a month, you get full access to every lab on Cybr as well as every single course. So let me just show this off real quick before we dive into stuff. If we go to all courses right now, I will show you guys the course I'm working through. So I finished 2 courses. I finished the Beginner's Guide to AWS CloudTrail for Security. I also finished another course, Introduction to AWS Security, and this is the course I'm going through right now. But with that $10 sub, you get access to all of these courses, and these aren't just like cheap courses thrown together. I'll give you a quick glimpse of just one of these lessons. So I actually created an entire lab on my own AWS Sandbox account for this. The first thing we did is we did a breach, right? Like we breached our own AWS account and then we responded to it. And now I'm going through a crypto mining one where like we got breached with a crypto miner and we're going through it. But just to show you like the quality of this Each one of these modules has a full detailed video that goes alongside of it. Super high quality, really good audio from it. I don't know if you can hear it. I don't think it's probably coming through my VM, but it's really well done by Christoph as he works through this, as well as full text of everything that we're going through. So these courses really are amazing. I've learned a lot as I've been going through it. And with that premium sub to Cybr, you get access to all of these courses. You can also just pay for them if you want, standalone price. But I think the sub is worth it. You get access to all the courses. It's only about $10 a month. And you get access to all of the labs. But today, we're just going to showcase a little bit of this with a completely free lab. Now, there's a few different ways you can get to the labs. If you go to the Learn tab, once you make your account, you can click Hands-On. But what I like is this Learning Paths Notion sheet. So if we pull up this Notion sheet, we can see all the different learning paths in Cybr, depending on what we want to do. So we have role-based learning paths for blue teaming and red teaming, topic-based learning paths, so depending on what you want to learn. What I'm going to do is if we scroll all the way down to the bottom, we have the hands-on learning paths. A question we'll sometimes get is, which of our hands-on labs should I start with? Here's a breakdown of our hands-on labs by level of difficulty and category, and we're just going to start with this top one, create a static S3 website using Terraform. Now, I've already defined Terraform. Even if you're brand new to AWS, you should be able to follow along. Terraform is infrastructure as code. It allows you to use code in order to spin up resources in various cloud environments. And in S3 is an S3 bucket. I always try to think of it like an FTP server, but for the cloud. It's a server that can host static files on it, and you can also host a static web server on it, which is what we are going to do. So you can pull up the lab there. And here is our lab right here. I'm gonna go ahead and click Start Lab. I didn't do it ahead of time because it only gives you a time limit of 60 minutes for the free lab, so didn't want to run out of time. But we'll go through this entire thing together. We're gonna learn how to create and configure a static S3 website using only Terraform. This lab does not grant access to the AWS console, encouraging both least privilege and using infrastructure as code to manage cloud infrastructure instead of ClickOps. While it loads, we'll go through some of the introduction. We will be learning about HashiCorp Terraform, an infrastructure as code language that enables us to build and maintain infrastructure via code. Now we're going to set up our development environment. A few things that we need. I already have the AWS CLI installed, but I have a whole video that goes through working with the AWS CLI. But we do need to install Terraform. I don't think I have it installed on this VM because it's a pretty new VM. So we can go ahead and do that together. There's a few different ways that we can do this, but probably the easiest is just the pre-compiled binary. So let's go over to appropriate package and let's see if we can find what we need. So here we go. We can do our pre-compiled binary right here, AMD64. Let's go ahead and download that. And then we will open up our terminal. We'll CD over to downloads. We'll do ls, and here is the Terraform right there. So we'll do unzip Terraform. And there it is right there. If we run it, we should be able to get output on it, which we do. And now we just want to put it in our path. If you're new to Linux, path is just where it's looking to execute these binaries. If we echo out our path, we can see what our path is. And all we need to do is move Terraform into our path. So let's go ahead and do this. We'll do sudo move Terraform, and we'll just do user local bin like so. Type in your password. And now if I'm not in that directory, it should still work, and it does. We should be good to go. We will go ahead and make a directory for Cybr, and we'll jump over to Cybr, and I'll make a directory, and we'll just call it Terraform S3. I'll know what that is, and there we go. We are in our directory. What else do we need to install? We can also install Visual Studio Code, which I also don't have on this VM, since it is a brand new VM. So I'll show you how to do that as well in Kali. If we just go to the install link, we will download the .debian file. Should not take too long, and we'll go ahead and get that installed, and then we should be able to start knocking out this lab. CD to home downloads. Is it done yet? And it is right there. So there's code. We can install this super easily with dpkg. Actually, we're not going to sudo dpkg/I, and then not Cato code rather. There we go. And we'll allow that to do its thing. We'll change this over to terminal, and that is done. We should be able to See, Visual Studio Code is there. So we are good to go. We have installed all the dependencies and we can dive into the lab. We have our credentials right there. Now, if you're new to AWS, the access key ID is sort of like the username. This in of itself is not super sensitive, but the secret is because it gives someone access to your AWS account. But with this, on the command line, we can authenticate as this user. Before I get ahead of myself, let's just go through this entire lab together. The temptation when we do a lab like this is to skim it, but I think it's important to slow down, read the material, and let's understand what we are doing. So what is infrastructure as code? Infrastructure as code enables creating and managing infrastructure like virtual machines, networks, and more using code. So if you want to be a cloud engineer, lean in. This is going to be super helpful. So instead of going to the AWS console and manually creating dozens of resources, we write the code to do this. Right? It now goes through the same software dev lifecycle as any application code should. It means we can do version control, automate deployments and updates, identify and remediate security issues prior to deployment, and more. Terraform is arguably the most popular IAC, or infrastructure as code tool, is open source and supports thousands of industry solutions like AWS, Azure, Kubernetes, Proxmox, Okta, and more. Several other solutions do exist, however, including AWS CloudFormation, Pulumi, and OpenTofu. So Terraform providers. To build infrastructure on AWS or other solutions, Terraform relies on providers. These are essentially plugins that translate Terraform code into API calls for a service. So all you have to worry about is writing Terraform code, and the provider will handle the rest. So we can look at the providers here. We can just pull it up. And you can see some of the big ones here, but just a bunch of different providers that we could work with. Looking at the AWS provider, we can see a few things. So we can go ahead and pull that up. AWS. Lifecycle managed AWS resources, including EC2, Lambda, EKS, ECS, VPC, S3, RDS, DynamoDB, and more. This is maintained internally by the HashiCorp AWS provider team. So official, provided by HashiCorp, most trusted and up to date. It's the version of the provider source code. In order to get to the source code, since it is open source, we can see it right there. And documentation on various AWS resources that can be created. So let's go ahead and configure our credentials. We'll scroll back up here, and what we need to do is copy our access key ID just by clicking in there, and we will do AWS configure, pass it a profile, we'll call it lab, and drop in our access key ID. Now we need to grab our secret key, so we'll grab it there and drop in our secret key. I don't know if region matters. I'm guessing US East 1 will be sufficient. And yeah, we should be fine doing US East 1. We can do JSON, and there we go. Now, to make sure it worked in Linux, you can do who am I, but AWS likes to make it more confusing. So we have to do AWS STS get caller identity. You can see it there, and we'll just do profile lab, and we have successfully authenticated to the lab. So far, we are doing good. Let's jump back over to the lab. Yo, what up, Zach? Had the interview earlier today. Message me on Discord. Even drop it here. Would love to know how it went for you. All right. If you use a profile name, you'll need to add it to your Terraform main file so that Terraform knows which creds to use. So we'll be sure to add that. So building our first AWS resource. You know what I might do if I drop this over here and just throw my terminal over here? I'll zoom out a little bit. Hopefully you guys can still see it. But this might be the easiest way to do this lab. So the first thing we're going to do is make a directory for AWS Workshop. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll do make directory, AWS Workshop, and we'll just CD into it. There we go. And navigate to the directory you just created and create a new file called main.tf. This code below will open Visual Studio Code with a new file. So let's go ahead and do that, main.tf. And we may have to do some things, trust this window. Let's trust it. All right, and we'll add a folder that's also trusted. We'll do home, Cybr, and we'll just select that folder as a trusted folder. But if we jump over to this, we have our main, and we can open up our folder as well. We'll do Tyler, Cybr, Terraform S3, AWS Workshop, and I guess that doesn't really matter. There it is right there. And now we should be good to go. So we have that pulled up, and we will drop that over there. The other thing I like to do is turning on word wrap, and I can also maybe zoom in for you guys a little bit here. Is it? I don't know why it wasn't doing it when I was using the hotkeys, but we'll do it this way. All right, there we go. And Zach said, went super well. It wasn't really asked much technical questions, more so scenario-based. A position will be someone who's going to implement security policy, creating playbooks. Dude, that's awesome. Did they tell you when you're going to hear back from them? All right, anyways, we have created our main. Pro tip, if you don't have the code shortcut set up, you can open Visual Studio Code. Hit Command-Shift-P, search for shell command, install code command and path, and hit enter. What up, Prasajit? Good morning from India. I'm sure I just totally messed up your name, but hey, it's an honor to have you hanging out. All right, we're going to codify an AWS S3 bucket. AWS S3 is a simple resource that enables storing large amounts of data in a cost-effective manner. So like I said, kind of like FTP for the cloud. By default, S3 buckets are private, but can be made public if needed. We'll start by creating a private bucket and then move on to making it public and hosting a static website. Copy the below code into your main.tf file. Let's reference the documentation for the AWS bucket resource here. So we'll go ahead and grab this. And even if you don't know this, it should make a little bit of sense of what we are seeing. Also, do I need to install any extensions for this? I wonder if I do. Let me just check. Let's install this for Terraform to do just some code syntax for us. All right, there we go. Now it looks a little bit nicer. We have some code syntax. We're specifying our provider of AWS. Of course, if we do in Azure, we would do something else. We're doing our region for US East 1. And we do need to do Profile Lab because I did set up an AWS profile when I did this. If you did not set up an AWS profile, you could leave that commented out. And we are creating a resource. And we're specifying the resource as AWS S3 bucket. And we have to give it a unique bucket name here. But I won't get ahead of us. Let's just keep working through the lab. So you need to uncomment Profile Lab. Already did that. We'll scroll through. By default, Terraform will look for the AWS creds and AWS creds. If you have multiple profiles, you can specify the profile in the provider block. Otherwise, don't include the profile line. So deploying the Terraform code. Let's work through a few Terraform commands to deploy our code. So do I need to, here, let me go ahead and add a unique bucket name here. We'll do the Hack Smarter Live S3 bucket. All right. I don't think anyone is going to be using that bucket name. Control S to save it. All right, let's work through a few Terraform commands to deploy our code. And what we can do is we can just pull up a terminal here. And I think this will still work. Do lab. And there we go. So we can even run our commands down here as we work through this. So initialize. Terraform init initializes the directory with the necessary plugins and modules. Am I supposed to do that right now? I think so. This creates hidden files and directories within your project directory. So we can go ahead and do this. So we'll type in Terraform initialize. And this is the same way we do Cloud Goat as well. Once we set up Cloud Goat scenarios, we use Terraform for all of that. This creates some hidden files and directories within your project directory. So a .terraform and a .terraform.lock. The .terraform directory contains the plugins and modules that Terraform needs to run, whereas the other file contains the versions of the plugins and modules that were installed. Terraform validate checks the syntax of the code and ensures that the code is valid. It will only check for Terraform-related issues and may not account for AWS-specific issues. And you can see Terraform has been successfully initiated. Beautiful. And we can do Terraform validate. And there we go. It says our configuration is valid. Beautiful. If you have an issue with your code, you'll see an error message here. For example, I've added a fake argument to the AWS S3 bucket resource. Oh, look at that. It's Tyler's bucket. Heck yeah, it's my bucket. That's what I'm talking about. Let's add a false argument here. So we'll say not real equals please subscribe. Right? And now if we save that and we try to Terraform validate, it's going to error out saying that we have an unsupported argument. You can imagine if you're doing a massive file, that's a helpful command you want to run regularly so you don't finish creating the entire file, only to have all of it break. And I need a Control S to save it, and now it should validate properly. There we go. Format. Terraform format formats the code to ensure it's properly aligned and consistent. If you set up the HashiCorp Terraform plugin for Visual Studio Code, which I did, it will automatically format your code when you save the file. Therefore, you don't need to run this command. Perfect. Plan. Terraform plan shows you what Terraform will do when you run Terraform apply. It will show you the resources that will be created, updated, and destroyed. So let's do that. Terraform plan. And we can see everything that it's doing. Terraform will create the following actions. The AWS S3 bucket will be created. And here's some information. We have the bucket right there, HackSmarter Live S3 bucket, and it provides all the information for us on what it is creating. Terraform apply applies the changes to your infrastructure. This is where Terraform will create the resources you have defined in your code. And let's go ahead and give that a shot. Terraform apply. Fingers crossed. Do you want to perform these actions? Yes, of course I do. Oh no. The specified bucket is not valid. Oh, I just need to try a different name. Okay. Let's try. Here, I'm gonna take Tyler's bucket right here. And we're just gonna do like Tyler's bucket would actually end in 1337. So I'm gonna save that up there, and we'll do Terraform init again to initialize it, and then Terraform apply. And yes. There we go. Now I successfully created the bucket. Beautiful. Validating deployment. Once we get confirmation from Terraform that the bucket has been created, we can leverage the AWS CLI to see this. And the way we can do that, just like it shows there, is AWS S3 and then list the buckets. We do need to pass it our profile since we set up a profile called lab. But there we do see our bucket and we were able to do it. Looking over chat, just got in. What lab are you doing? We are doing a completely free lab from Cybr called, jump over to it. If I go over to Learning Pass here, you can make a free account on Cybr and follow along. Otherwise, the standalone video will get posted on my YouTube channel. But on this Learning Pass sheet, if Notion would load for us, we're doing this lab right here, creating a static S3 website using Terraform. All right, validating deployment, we did that successfully, and now we are going to create an AWS S3 static website. Now that we have an S3 bucket, let's turn it into a static website. The first thing we need is an HTML file to host. Copy the code below into a file called index.html in the same directory as your main.tf. Replace your name with the name. You know what? We're going to make this a little more special. Let's go to ChatGPT and say, hey, give me the HTML for a static website called Tyler's Hacking Fortress and make it look awesome with a bunch of hacking stuff. Make sure there is a link to my YouTube channel, youtube.com, Tyler, whoops. Let's see how ChatGPT does for us. All right, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. This is the real way to do this lab. All right, even though we just have an example image, you know what, that'll work. Let's go ahead and grab this, and we will create a new file. It says in the same directory, so we'll create one right here, and we'll just call it index.html, like so. Drop this back over to here, paste it in, and we'll go ahead and save that. Jump back over to lab, and we'll see if this works. So we created it. We need to update our S3 bucket policy to allow anyone to access it. This is controlled via an S3 bucket resource policy. Update your main.tf with the code below. So we'll go ahead and just grab this and we'll look at it once we update it. Oh, we need to just do it with our resource. So we'll copy it from our resource down. So we'll walk through what this is doing. We're passing it our AWS S3 bucket like we did before. You can see it right there, grabbing it from our bucket. but we're giving it public access, right? So it has the effect allow on anyone is able to get the object. So they're able to access our website. I think that code looks good to me. And now we're going to make our bucket accessible. Did we already do that? Oh, wait, hold up. Let's go back. I need to not delete that. Rather, we need to go like this, paste that in there, and then add this one on here. I'll make the bucket public. And we will grab this. There, I think I did that right. We can go ahead and do Terraform. Jeez, I can't type. The Terraform check command. What was that called? Terraform not format, validate. Let's see if my code sucks. What typos do I have? Wow, I don't have any typos. Freaking amazing. Did I make sure I saved it? I didn't break anything in the way I pasted it in. But we should be good. We're doing that, and then we're making our S3 bucket public, adding the public access block so that people are able to access it. Let's scroll down, enabling the website configuration. Next, we need to upload our HTML file and enable the website configuration on the S3 bucket. This will allow us to host a static website. So you can see kind of what it's doing here. We're going to pass it our index.html, text/html, and then configure the bucket as a website. All of this makes sense. We'll grab this, and we'll just keep adding this to our code. Oh, I see. It doesn't like this. Attribute bucket is not specified. An attribute named bucket is required here for Terraform. Let's see. So that's not going to validate, is it? Did I miss something? Here, let me just copy all this. So we have all this, upload HTML to the bucket, configure the bucket as a website. Let me just try to paste that in again. And it still fails. And I bet it won't validate. All right. A block definition must have a block content delimited by that and that, starting on the same line as the block header. So do we just need to put it... like that? Hey, look at that. I fixed it myself. Finally, we can add an output resource to display the website URL. So let's go ahead and do that. And that's just taking, hey, we want to take the website URL, and when we run this Terraform, it should go ahead and do that. You know what? Here's what I think I'm missing. When I'm copy and pasting, I'm not getting the whole thing. You guys see that? Let's go ahead and do this. Hopefully I didn't break anything by not realizing that ahead of time. It's a downside when you're... oh, it still didn't do it. Does this do it? Geez, okay. I guess I'm going to have to make this full screen. Let's give that a shot now. Oh, no, it's like that. Oh, it's an error on here. You see, I thought I was doing it, but no, it's dropping itself down to website endpoint. That's all supposed to be one line, I am quite certain. Let's go ahead and see if we can fix that. Let's save it, and let's see if Terraform still validates. And it does. Okay, beautiful. We'll scroll back down. And deploying the website, we can do Terraform. We do initialize it first, make sure everything goes through. And now we'll do Terraform apply. Really fingers crossed that this works. Yes. No. Access denied. Oh, wait. No, that... Does our user... Try harder. Let's make sure we set up the right profile. And let's make sure our lab didn't expire either. I know I only had 60 minutes. Time left 38 minutes. Our lab hasn't expired. I'm using the lab user. Does my user not have the ability? So our policy operation error, put bucket policy, response error status 403, API error, access denied on line 10. Here's our bucket policy. We're not able to modify that. Is that the issue? What? I didn't do anything different, but maybe I did something wrong the first time I did it, but it worked that time. Let's see if our static website actually works, and I'll even drop it in chat so you guys can check it out. There we go. Amazing. We did it. Let me drop a link. Guys, come check out my static website. Tyler's Hacking Fortress. Welcome to the world of hacking. Hacker image. Here you will find resources, tutorials, and more to sharpen your hacking skills. Dive into the world of cybersecurity, pen testing, and ethical hacking. Loading Tyler's hacking tools, access granted, welcome, and then it goes to my YouTube channel. Amazing. Now I'm curious, what if we play around with this? Right, it's not hacking without some cross-site scripting. We'll just alert 1337. Right, when you load the website, can I save that and just reapply it? All right. I'm guessing it's the same URL, right? Does that not work? Oh, okay. Oh, well. I thought I would try to throw a script in there. Oh, maybe I have to put it in the actual body. Maybe I'm dumb. Here, let's go down to like... We'll throw it in here. And we'll just save. Terraform apply. All right, and let's grab it. Copy. And it still doesn't work. View page source, script. It's not going in there. Is it because it's like cached or something? Does it take a little bit? Maybe it doesn't go through for some reason. If I do it in a new browser. No, it doesn't work there either. All right, well, it must be a little bit of time. Oh, you know what I need to do? We have to do terraform destroy. Yes. Let's destroy it. And now let's do terraform apply. And then it should add my sweet cross-site scripting in the website. All right, let's see. Haha, there we go. Now I can get you all with my elite hacking skills when you come to my website. We'll pop that 1337 to Tyler's Hacking Fortress. Once again, if you guys want to check it out, there you go. Go check out the website we just spun up using Terraform and an S3 bucket. That's pretty cool. We can close this out. And then that's how we would modify it, right? If we wanted to make changes to it, we would do terraform destroy and then terraform apply. And I bet that's what it's going to tell us next. I just got ahead of myself. Deploying the website, navigating to the website, and destroying the infrastructure. When you're done with the infrastructure, you can destroy it using terraform destroy. It's important to do this to avoid unnecessary costs. For an S3 bucket, you pay for the storage and data transfer costs. See the pricing here for more information. Now, we could actually have a little bit of fun. Make me a static website with something like a hacking to-do list that is vulnerable to cross-site scripting. You guys can go hack yourselves. I'll spin this up and you should be able to execute some cross-site scripting in here. I just want to look at the code on how it does it. Here's our to-do list with some JavaScript here. And we're just accepting user input. We're not sanitizing or validating at all. And then we will go ahead and you should be able to execute some JavaScript in your own browser. Let's paste that in. We will save it. We'll do terraform destroy. Yes. Terraform, not create, apply, rather. Yes. All right, there's our bucket. My enter key is not working. There we go. All right, into a new task. Hello, subscribers. Oh, it did. Whoops. It didn't even execute. You can see it's trying to. It's actually being commented out. It's not actually executing. We made our thing too safe, but still fun. We could play around with it a little more, but that at least shows the full process. No crypto miners, please. Yeah. We'll drop the crypto miner. Subscribe to Tyler's YouTube channel. And we can even inspect this. We'll go. Can we do some HTML injection? Yeah, so we can do some HTML injection there. Right? So that would be a finding on a pen test. Low, since there's not a whole lot you can do with it, but we at least have HTML injection. H1. Tyler is way too elite. Right? And we could also try something like payloads image. And we'll just grab one of these, like this one. Grab this image source one. And there we go. We have cross-site scripting. Beautiful. So we just had to bypass some protections I accidentally put in place there. But with these, we have cross-site scripting with the image tag. And you can see it there. Those would all be valid findings on a pen test. All of it just starts over if you refresh it. So if you want, I'll drop this link as well. You can go play around and get some cross-site scripting on yourself. Trying to think of anything else fun we could do with our static website before our time runs out. But this is pretty cool. Like, I love how ChatGPT can quickly throw together something like this. If you want to make even your own CTF doing some web app stuff, you can see some ways that you would be able to do that. But here's Tyler's Hacking Fortress with our hacking to-do list. It was a fun lab. Let's go through here and look at our conclusion. Congratulations, you've just used infrastructure as code with Terraform to create and later destroy an Amazon S3 static website. We created it a few times, and if we look over at our code here, we can exit this out. Our main.tf. So remember, our main thing here is in main.tf, we're specifying our AWS provider. We're giving our region in our lab that we want to do these things with. We're creating our S3 bucket profile. We're doing our initial bucket policy here, allowing anyone to do the get object. We're making the publicly accessible on this spot, right? Our public ACL, false, 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 false. So we're not restricting in any way. Then we're uploading our index.html that we created into the bucket to serve as just a static website. We configure the bucket as a website itself, as you can see right here. And then finally, we output the website URL. But this can get a lot more complex. So for example, if we go over to GitHub CloudGoat, I can show you my new scenario. that will eventually get approved. It's already done with all the whole process, but this SNS secret scenario, and I mean, you can see all the different changes I made to this scenario. But if we go over to files changed, this is how I created it. So if we look over at like Terraform right here, we can see our output.tf. So very similar to before, we're going to output the information like the access key ID that you start with. We have some provider information here, so similar to what we saw before, specifying the profile and the region from the CloudGoat stuff. But you can kind of read through this and see how I ended up doing it with a lot of banging my head against the wall and ChatGPT's help in order to successfully make this thing actually spin up. So if you run this scenario, it does everything in the background in the AWS account and creates an entire AWS pen testing lab for you to learn how to abuse some SNS secrets type stuff. But that is the fun of Terraform. So I want to say just a huge thank you to Cybr and Christoph in particular. Fun lab. Was fun spinning things up, playing around with it, creating our own little hacking fortress. I am going to destroy that now. So if you guys did not get a chance to look at this, you may want to do that. But let me go ahead and destroy my resource. Terraform. Destroy. I know I'm not sharing my screen, but you guys saw me do this enough times. There we go. Neffel says, so when you run Terraform destroy, does it remove all the resources created in policies, for example? It does. And that's why with CloudGoat, we use Terraform on the back end, because when you spin up CloudGoat, you're spinning up vulnerable scenarios in your own AWS environment. But when you do destroy, so in CloudGoat, we just made it CloudGoat, which calls Terraform. But when you do CloudGoat destroy, it destroys all the scenario, all the resources, all the policies that spun up. So there's nothing left lingering in your AWS account. So that's how we do it with CloudGoat. And that's a really nice thing about Terraform. Spins them all up and then destroys it. I can even show that to you guys. If you look down right here, once I did Terraform destroy, you can see destroy complete, resources 5 destroyed. So everything it spun up has now been destroyed. But for those of you who did this lab alongside of me, whether you did it live on stream or watching after the fact on YouTube, hey, thank you for taking the time to learn alongside of me, and I will see you in the next one. What's the Tyler bucket thing? That was just part of the lab that we were doing, spinning up a static website with Terraform. But that is that's Cybr, and there's a bunch of other labs I want to do on stream. But I want to also knock out a new Try Hack Me room today. Here's a sweet hacking fortress. But I'll give you guys, for those of you just joining in the stream, let me just show off Cybr one more time, just to very much encourage you. Oh, maybe I should mark as complete. I did the lab. All right, leave. But if we go to cybr.com, Cybr is a really cool resource. Only $10 for the premium sub, $10 a month. You get access to all the courses, which I already kind of showed off. I won't show all of that. I'll just give you a quick glimpse of them. Super high quality video courses, hands-on labs as you go. I have gone through the beginner's guide to AWS CloudTrail, did that entire lab. I did the entire introduction to AWS security lab, and I'm looks like 64% through this incident response to CloudTrail and Athena lab. But Christoph has done a really excellent job building the platform, creating these courses. You also get access to all of the hands-on labs. The one we just did was free, but with the paid sub, you get access to, of course, everything. And I want to knock out some more of these labs. I've done a handful of them, but want to do a lot more. Do I have a referral code for Cybr? I do not. Just make an account and say, hey, Tyler sent me. I'm not interested in any kickbacks. Just really do enjoy the platform. We could knock out another one of these labs. There was another one I wanted to do on the pen testing side of things. Let's see if I can find it. We did this one, so if you missed this one, I have a standalone video on my YouTube channel where I did this lab. The Secrets Manager enumeration. I wanted to check out this lab. Maybe we can go through this one real quick together. And looks like Cybr has a full lab walkthrough on it. But what I can probably do, I'm just going to glance through this lab to see how they're doing it. All right. I'll show you guys how to do this lab with Paku. Because I think I can do it in like just a few minutes, just showing off Paku. Because there's already a full, video walkthrough officially through Cybr. So I can make an alternative walkthrough showing off some of this process using Paku, as well as how to install Paku, because I don't have it on this machine. So we can make that quick. It won't even take me that long. Let's start this lab, and then I'll start making a standalone video. What is up, y'all? Hello, Deluxy. Hello, Learn and Grade. Hello, Dev. Good to have all of you here. Check messages real quick while this lab spins up. And I need to put my phone on silent. Have I been watching any of the Olympics? I haven't. I should. My daughter really likes gymnastics, so she's been watching Simone, whatever her last name is, a little bit, like just videos of her. All right. Lab is ready. I'm going to start making a standalone video for YouTube. Here we go. Hey, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to get more hands-on with AWS pen testing, and we're going to work through a lab from Cybr. Now, if you've never heard of Cybr, it's an incredible platform for a very small subscription of $10 a month. You get access to all of the courses, all of the labs, and even without that, a lot of the labs are completely free for you to check out. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Before we dive into the lab, real quickly, Cybr is cybr.com. And this is the Cybr platform right here. Build AWS cloud security skills. They have a bunch of hands-on labs, and they have some incredible courses. I'm not going to go through all of that now. Actually, I have a whole nother video on my YouTube channel where I do a full introduction to Cybr, so I would refer you to that. But there is this lab called Introduction to Secrets Manager Enumeration, and I thought this would be a fun lab to do, but we're going to do it in an alternative way because Cybr has already made an incredible lab walkthrough on this lab, going through everything down here, walking through what is going on. So I'm going to show you how to do this lab using Paku, and we'll get to that. But before we get to that, let's just understand what is going on. This is also a free lab. So even if you don't have any type of sub to Cybr, you can do this right now. So if you're watching me on YouTube after the fact, go ahead and pause this video, make an account on Cybr, and then unpause the video and join me, and we can work through and stumble through this lab together. But this free lab provides us with an environment to practice enumerating Amazon's Secrets Manager service if you'd like to get familiar with the process and warm up before diving into the CTF labs. If you're already fairly familiar, feel free to poke around on your own or even skip this lab entirely. We're going to poke around a little bit on our own. If not, then below is a sequence of commands that we recommend you go through to learn and familiarize yourself with it. I'll show you my way of doing it, but let's just look at this. So what is Secrets Manager? Well, as it sounds like, it's an AWS service that lets you encrypt and store secrets that you can then use for all kinds of purposes, including for your applications, APIs, Lambda functions. You can use it to store login creds, API keys, or really any secret value you need to use, but don't want to hard code since you're trying to follow security best practices. In other words, if this is compromised, it's going to be a bad deal for you. And encrypts data as you store it using KMS and decrypts it when you retrieve it. It also supports automatically and periodically rotating your secrets without breaking your apps and enables you to control exactly who or what can access your secrets. Give the link on this chat? Yeah, absolutely. I'll drop the link real quick. There we go. That should be the link to this lab if you want to follow along. But the first thing we need to do is authenticate. So let's just go over to here and we will do, actually we'll jump out of this. I don't think we'll even need to create a folder for this lab. So we'll just do AWS configure profile. Should we just call it secrets? Drop in our access key ID, grab our secret. I'm going to guess it's US East 1. I don't know for sure, but we will find out. Now, what I want to do to accomplish this lab, you can follow these steps or this video that shows you the manual way of doing all of this. I'm going to see if I can speed run this using Paku. And I don't even have Paku installed on this VM, so I'll show you the full process for installing Paku. If we just go to Paku GitHub and also drop this link over in the chat for those of you who want to follow along. Paku is a tool created by the greatest pen testing firm on the earth, which is where I work, but it's an open source AWS exploitation framework designed for offensive security testing against cloud environments. Created and maintained by Rhino Security Labs, Paku allows pen testers to exploit configuration flaws within an AWS account using modules to easily expand its functionality. Current modules enable a range of attacks, including user privilege escalation, backdooring of IAM users, attacking vulnerable Lambda functions, and much more. So we can go ahead and grab the code here. I think... Can I do pipx get plus like that? I might have my syntax wrong. Let me look real quick. How to use pipx to install this. I think it's pipx get install. That's what I was missing, install. Now the reason I'm using pipx is I like to keep all this stuff in their own Python virtual environment so I don't break other dependencies. And we should be able to do this for Paku, I believe, to get the newest version of Paku. And it appears to be working, which is good news. It is slowly installing. In the meantime, I can show you a little bit about Paku. Let's jump over to Paku here. We have some documentation. We have the Rhino Discord. You can ask questions there. But there's a few different ways you can install it. You can just do pip3 install. But once again, the reason I generally don't do that for really any tools is I've had enough experience when I install tools with pip. It breaks other tools I've installed with pip. So I use pipx, which spins all the tools up in their own Python virtual environment. You can run it with Docker as well. Some information to get started. But honestly, I'm going to showcase a lot of this as we work our way through it. So here it is here. If we do Paku version, we see that it works. No database found. We created a database. So now I am just going to run Paku. We'll call this session secrets. And now what we need to do is import our keys. So remember, we created a profile called secret. So we can do that. Import keys. Was it secret or secrets? Let's do AWS STS get caller identity secrets. And it was secrets. Beautiful. So we'll do import keys secrets. Now, we don't know what privileges we have in the environment. So we wouldn't know, like, can I hit secret manager? One good way we can check that, there's a few different Paku modules for that purpose, and I'll see if either of them work. We can go ahead and search IAM. And when we search for IAM, we have a few different things here. So we can brute force our permissions, and we can enum permissions. Now, enum permissions only works if we have enough permissions in the account to run that. But we'll go ahead and give that a shot. We'll do run IAM enum permissions like so, and hit enter. And we have 11 unconfirmed permissions for our Julie user. We can type who am I to get a list of our permissions, and let's see what we have. We are given our access key ID, our secret access key, and we can do a few different things. So we can list user policies. You can see that in any resource with the wildcard. We can get user policies. We can list user policies. We can get users. We can get policy. We can list policy versions. And we have a policy here for AWS Secrets Manager, which says we can get anything in the passwords, anything in API keys. We have different version IDs that we can do. We can describe secrets. We can get secret value. We can list secrets. So we have a lot of power. But now this only works if we have permission to list policies like we do here. Sometimes you don't have those permissions. So for example, we can also do search IAM, and we have this brute force permission module we can also run. So if we run IAM brute force permissions, I'm just going to specify region US East 1 to speed it up. I probably won't even do this full thing. But what this is going to do is try all the different AWS API calls to see, hey, what permissions do we have in the environment? So you can see right now, we are saying we can list policies, we can get user, get session token, get caller identity, list secrets and secrets manager. So if our account did not have permission on its own to get that information, we could literally brute force our permissions in the AWS account to figure out what access we have. Now, to be clear, if you are doing this in like a red team engagement, you are likely to get caught because this is noisy. It kind of looks like a directory brute force attack on a web server where it's just spamming endpoints over and over again. That's sort of what this looks like in AWS. AWS. It sees our users spamming all these API calls to figure out what permission we have, and any good blue team or SOC is going to catch this right away and see, oh, someone is enumerating our environment. But I'm going to go ahead and stop that. We have our who am I, so we already know what permissions we have, and because we are able to list secrets, well, that's a pretty good hint. Maybe we should see what secrets are in Secret Manager. And of course, Paku has a module for that. If we search secret, we have secrets enum right here. Enumerates and dumps secrets from AWS Secret Manager and AWS Parameter Store. Now, if we wanted more information on this, we can do like help secrets enum, and it gives more information. So it takes different options. We can do a region. We can say Secrets Manager, or we can do Parameter Store. I think by default, it will just do all of them. We'll just give it a shot and see what happens. Run Secrets enum, like so. And I guess we can specify regions US East 1, just so we don't waste our time hitting the other regions. And let's see if that works, fingers crossed. And there we go. So we started it denied our parameters, but we were able to list secrets, and it says 2 secrets are found in AWS Secret Manager. 0 parameters are found. Check that in order to get the value. So let's go ahead and check that out. If we go over to our other terminal, we'll cd to home, Tyler, local, and then share, I believe, Paku, secrets, downloads, secrets again, secrets manager, cat secrets.txt, and there we go. In just a few minutes, we were able to automate that lab, automate the enumeration, both using the enum resource, but also showing how to brute force it, and then use Paku to grab down these secrets very quickly and see them. We have our password right here. Cybr Labs are fun 2211, and we have our secret API key. Now, to show you how much Paku speeds it up, if we jump, whoops, I do not want to close down my virtual machine. If we jump back over to the lab itself, we'll do a quick walkthrough of this. I'm not going to do each one of these steps, but I'll show you everything that Paku just automated for us. We, of course, did our authentication as normal, and then the IAM enumeration here. First, they're trying to get caller identity to get our information. They're specifying the profile to get more information. They're listing user policies. Then they're trying to get the user policy on the allowed secret manager to see what information the policy allows. We go through. So when we enumerate, we did one command in Paku, right? Run IAM enum permissions. That automated all of that. We can see what resources is able to allow. We have our secret manager enumeration based on everything that we're able to do. And here we are. We're going to list our secrets with the AWS CLI. This is going to give our secret list right there. But even with that, we have to get the secrets themselves. So we see the secrets exist. Then we have to list the secret version IDs to see the different IDs of the secret. Then we have to do that to the second secret as well to get the different versions. Then we have to get the resource policy. Then we have to repeat it for the other secret. Then we have to describe secret in order to see what information is in the secret. Then finally we can do get secret value and get the secret. So as you can see, using a tool like Paku makes the AWS CLI a lot less confusing. You don't have to remember all the crazy syntax. You can literally just be like, okay, I'm in Paku and I want to do something with secrets. Search secrets. I ran one command to automate all of it. Or I want to do something with IAM. I want to see what permissions I have. Well, you can see all of it right there. Just automating the process for you to show you really the beauty of Paku. Yeah, Deluxe, said manual walkthrough looks good to understand what Paku does under the hood. Absolutely. You should be able to know how to do it manually. I could do it manually, but it'd take a lot of back and forth with me and ChatGPT, whereas Paku just makes it amazingly easy in order to do it. Oh, and then also we have to decode it, right? So once you get the secret, it will encode the jumble of text. The API key is encoded. I didn't even catch that. Let's jump over to that. Here's our API key. It's base 64 encoded, I believe. We can just copy that, and in our terminal, we can echo it out. Jeez, I am just clicking all kinds of keys. Pipe it over to base 64, -D to decode, and there we go. Our Cybr Labs fake API key 1122, and that is the API key decoded. So we have successfully enumerated information and extracted secrets stored in the Accounts Secrets Manager service. Feel free to keep playing around with this lab environment if you like, and once you're ready, go ahead and complete this lesson and check out the next lesson, which gives the above commands in a reference-able format. So we'll go ahead and complete this. And we have this cheat list or cheat sheet showing everything that we did, but I'll let you do that on your own as you work your way through this. Hopefully you enjoyed this. You learned something about AWS Secrets Manager, authenticating, installing Paku. We did a lot of stuff in the little bit of time that we had together. So if you want more, I encourage you to check out Cybr yourself. Otherwise, I will have a bunch of other videos coming on in the near future as I work through various labs on the Cybr platform. So thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. All right. Omen says, please help me to bypass current version of AV and run exe on attack machine. Dude, that's a lot more work than what you make it sound like. I have a few AV bypass videos on my YouTube channel, but the moment you make an AV bypass public, it gets caught. So like everyone's complaining on my YouTube channel, oh, Tyler lied, it doesn't work anymore. No freaking duh, it doesn't work. You're watching the video 3 months later. Like the moment I say publicly, here's how you bypass Windows Defender will catch on via signatures and the cloud stuff that's sent to the cloud, and they're gonna stop it in its tracks. So sorry, Omen, I can't just give you an easy way to bypass AV. There's a lot of in-depth things that you could try, but that is out of scope for just a normal live stream, my friend. If you really want to dig into that, one resource I would recommend is Maldev Academy. Here, this would probably be one of the best resources to go deep into doing AV bypassing and writing custom malware for that purpose. So you can check that out. But me, myself on stream, I'm not going to spend time trying to figure out how to bypass AV right now. But this would be a resource I recommend. All right, y'all, we've been on for a little over an hour, and I think I'm going to call it a night. Gonna go enjoy the evening. It's about 10 o'clock at night. I want to go for a walk while it's nice out. And like I said before, this is the last stream before the craziness of Defcon. I will be packing tomorrow for Defcon instead of streaming, and I'll be in Vegas for this weekend, hopefully to see a bunch of you over at Defcon. Oh, do I have a demo where you can bypass admin access to local shared folders? I want to put a demo for my org on why it's dangerous to have local admin access to shared folders. I don't have a demo, no, but you could put together a demo. Just do some Googling, ask ChatGPT for some ideas, and I believe in you. You could do it. But guys, before we disconnect, let's find someone to raid. We have almost 20 people watching on Twitch, so let me pull up Twitch on my other monitor, and we'll get a raid started. Is my friend BlazeBits on? Let's find out. Oh, beautiful. All right. If you guys don't follow BlazeBits, you should check him out. Really incredible person, always doing like more in-depth red teaming, pen testing type labs, and really good at teaching it. So let's go ahead and raid BlazeBits over on Twitch, show him some support. The raid phrase is hack smarter, not harder. Hack smarter, not harder. If you're on YouTube and want to join the raid, go ahead and jump over to Twitch and you can join in. But let's go ahead and raid BlazeBits. I'll set up the raid right now. Raid BlazeBits. Yeah, jump on Twitch. Come join the raid. The Twitch is hack smarter, so twitch.tv hack_smarter. Give you guys a second to join the raid before I disconnect. But let's show them some support. I'll see you guys over there. I'm going to do the raid now and disconnect from here. I'll see you guys there.